All right, let's get right into it. If you've been thinking, what's my job going to look like in a few years, then you're in the right place. I'm looking at this from a career advisor's perspective, and my whole goal here is to cut through the noise, to give you a really clear, straightforward look at the massive changes AI is bringing to the job market. And, most importantly, what you can actually do about it.
So let's just start with a number that kind of stops you in your tracks. 92 million. That's how many jobs the World Economic Forum thinks will be displaced by AI by 2030. Just let that sink in for a second. 92 million. This isn't some, far-off science fiction movie plot. This is happening, and it's happening in the next few years.
Now, seeing a number like that, it can be a little unnerving. And that's totally okay. This quote here from Liam Motley it hits the nail on the head. He says it should be terrifying, but only if you're not going to do anything about it. And that's the key, right? It's not about being scared. It's about turning that anxiety into a plan of action.
Okay, so what's really happening here? Because it's easy to just hear job destruction and panic, but that's not the whole story. What we're actually seeing is this great split in the job market. It's a huge shift for sure, but it's creating just as much opportunity as it is causing disruption.
And this right here really paints the picture of that split. On one side, you have a recent McKinsey report that found, get this, 57% of the work we're doing right now could be automated. But at the exact same time, you've got 2/3 of employers, that's 66%, desperately looking for people who have AI skills. You see that gap, that chasm? That's the single biggest career opportunity out there today.
And if you need a little more motivation, how about this? Money. The data is showing that people with AI skills are earning a 56% pay premium. 56%! And what's even crazier is that pay gap has doubled in just the last year. I mean, the financial incentive to get on board with this stuff, it couldn't be clearer.
So, you see, this isn't just a little skills gap we're talking about. No way. This is a full-blown canyon, and it's separating the jobs that are being automated from the people who are in super high demand. And that really brings it all home, doesn't it? It frames the choice that every single one of us has to make for our careers, like right now.
Okay, so how do you make sure you're on the right side of that canyon? Well, that's what we're going to get into next. We're going to break down the two main paths you can take, not just to survive this shift, but to actually come out on top in this new AI economy.
And here they are, basically the two main ways to go. You can be the AI professional. That's where you weave AI into your current career to make yourself absolutely indispensable. Or you can be the AI entrepreneur, using AI as a partner to build brand new things from scratch. And honestly, the best path for you probably just comes down to your personality, If you love taking something that already exists and making it better, the professional path is probably your jam. But if you're the kind of person who just loves to build from zero and you're okay with a bit more risk, then the entrepreneur path might be calling your name.
All right, let's talk about path number 1, becoming the new AI professional. This is for pretty much anyone who has a job right now and wants to level up. We're not just talking about staying relevant, we're talking about becoming the person everyone turns to in your field because you've mastered these new tools.
But before we get too deep, let's just quickly break down what AI is really doing. It's actually a pretty simple cycle at its core. It sees or perceives information, it thinks about it or processes it, it does something or takes an action, and then this is the important part. It learns from the result to get better next time. Perceive, process, act, learn. That simple little loop is the engine behind all of this automation.
So if you go down this professional path, the new jobs are popping up in two main flavors. First, you've got discovery-oriented AI. Think of this as being a sort of explorer, using AI to find new markets or predict trends, like a machine learning analyst. Then you've got optimization-oriented AI. This is more like being an engineer, using AI to take what's already there and make it faster, cheaper, and better. That's where you find folks like RPA developers who are literally building little digital robots to handle all the boring, repetitive stuff.
Okay, now for path number 2, the AI-powered entrepreneur. And this is where things get really, really interesting. I mean, truly game-changing. We're talking about one person, maybe a tiny team, building an entire company with AI, doing work that just a few years ago would have taken a massive staff and a whole lot of cash.
Yeah, this quote from Pixena just says it perfectly. The whole idea that you need a big team, a fancy office, and tons of money to start a business, that's over. It's officially a thing of the past. The barrier to entry has just collapsed. What one person can build now with AI as their partner is on a whole different level.
And the piece of tech that's making all this possible is something called an AI agent. The easiest way to think about this, it's a digital worker. Seriously, you give it a task list, it goes off and does the work. But here's the difference. This worker runs 24/7, it never gets tired, it never calls in sick, and if you need more help, you can just, poof, duplicate it instantly. It's incredible.
And this is probably the most important mindset shift you need to make. I hear it all the time from people, but I can't code. Let me be super clear. That excuse is dead. It's irrelevant now. The most valuable skill in this new world isn't being a coder. It's being a problem solver. It's your ability to look at a situation, figure out a solution, and then clearly tell the AI how to build it. It's a thinking skill, not a typing skill.
So you might be thinking, okay, great, but how do I actually start? And it's probably way simpler than you imagine. It boils down to this. 1, pick one thing you can offer with AI. Just one. 2, know exactly who you're helping, your dream customer. 3, do a great job and get their feedback. And 4, ask every single happy customer for a referral. That's it. That's the playbook for getting started and building momentum.
Phew. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here, right? We've talked about the big shift, the massive opportunity, and the 2 paths forward. So now, let's just boil it all down into a few simple things you can literally start doing today.
All right, here's your game plan. Step 1, just get curious. Go play with some AI tools. Tinker, see what they can do. Step 2, don't try to solve world hunger. Pick one problem that you know inside and out, probably from your own job or hobbies. Third, focus on one skill that either makes a business money or saves them money. That's always where the real value is. And last, and this is a big one, proof is everything. Don't just talk about it. Build a little something, even if it's small, and show people what you can do.
So let's leave it here. The tools are out there and they're easier to use than ever. The opportunity in the market is, well, it's massive and it's crystal clear. We've laid out the paths forward. So really, there's only one question left, and it's a question for you. What problem are you going to solve with AI?